But you guys can't do what you want. But
Nope.
sometimes you can, because on tour, you get a pitch. You get a pitch that kind of reunites you with Randy Orton, but you weren't really about it. You want to talk about that a little bit? I'm not sure if you want to on here.
Yeah. So this was around November 11th or something. It was close to that. We were on this long tour. We had been gone for a very long time. I remember in October, we were home. Between October and November, we were home. Me and Cash were home 3 days because the tour had been broken up. We'd gone to like China and Saudi, and then we did Australia, we did the UK and things like that, Ireland. The tour had been broken up into two different tours, and everyone got, excuse me, everyone had gotten to do half of a tour. So, like, for example, half of the roster did the first half, and they brought in a whole new roster for the second half, except for a couple of guys like Roman, who had just signed one of the new contracts, making a ton of money. I think Seth as well, maybe. But other than that, me and Dan were the only ones who were on the whole tour. And they wanted us, after the tour was finally over, and we were supposed to, well, I think we were set to go to NXT as well, which was on a Wednesday. They wanted us to go to Raw. We had, like you said, we had been drafted to SmackDown. They wanted us to go to Raw. And we were called by Travel, the WWE travel services, to tell us that we were needed for Raw. And we lost it. We said, absolutely not. We had been on the road at the time for 17 straight days. And like I said, 3 days home for a month and a half or whatever it was. And we said, no, we're not going. Or excuse me, I think we said, well, what are we doing? And they said, well, right now the creative is you guys are going to come in and attack Randy, which is crazy because Travel is telling us this. You guys are going to attack Randy.
the booker over at Travel is telling you, right?
You're going to attack Randy, and then NXT is going to come in and jump you guys. And beat you down. And we said, no, absolutely not. We're not coming in to do that. And they said, well, they've got you scheduled. They need you. I said, well, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that. Have Heyman, who was booking at the time SmackDown, have him call us and tell us that. And so Paul Heyman called us. We were in a hotel room, and Paul Heyman calls us. He said, hey guys, I hear there's some problems with you guys not wanting to come to Raw. And we said, absolutely, this is our deal. We haven't been home for this long. We're SmackDown guys. We just got to go to NXT this day. Why do we need to be there? Well, we need to do this. You're very vital, a vital part of this angle. And we said, well, what is it? Well, we're going to have you finally break up the deal with Randy. You're going to beat him up. I said, what's going to happen after that? Which we didn't want to do that anyway. Then NXT is going to invade the ring, and you guys are going to get the shit kicked out of you by NXT, which is going to set up for stuff later. And I said, no, we're not doing that. I'm sorry. And I said, Paul, we were told by Travel that we had creative for Raw. I said, we're expecting to go home and see, I'm going to see my wife and my daughter, and we're told by Travel. He said, hang on one second. And he had the phone right up to his mouth because Paul thinks he's this incredible worker. Like, as far as, he's a great carny. Let's just put it like that. And he says, hey, Vince. Yeah, it's the Revival. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah, they were told by Travel. Can you believe that, Vince? Yeah, Vince can't believe that either. He can't believe you guys were told by Travel what your creative was. And he said, Vince, what do you think? Do you think that's, it was such a carny thing to do. And so we said, Paul, we're absolutely not going to be there. We can't do that. I'm going to go home to see my family. And he says, hang on one second. Vince, they said they can't. They want to go see their family. Yeah, I think they should too. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. All right, guys. So I'm going to talk to Vince a little bit more, but we think we've got you all for that Raw. Okay. And it's like, man, we know you're not talking to Vince. We know he's not there. So it was, that was just some of the stuff we had to deal with at the time, which is, whatever. I don't fault Paul for that. You know what I mean? I don't fault him for that. I don't hold any hard feelings to Paul for that, because I feel he was a fan of ours, but I think he was also doing what his job entailed him to do. But also it's like, man, you could just straight up with us. You can be honest with us.
Yeah.